I've got this tabletop here as a part of the dining set, and I have already stained it once, but I just didn't like the way that it turned out. So I'm having to strip the stain, which I already did. I used a chemical stripper, and now I am sanding it back down. One thing that I noticed when I was sanding it back down was those little swirly marks that you can get when you're sanding. I'll show you an example of that. Here's a great example. You can see just these little swirly marks. They're not super obvious when you look far away, but when you look up close, you can see all these little swirls created by the orbital sander. Anyways, like I was saying, I've already stained it. So this is where I have stained before, and then this is where I am now stripping it off again. And so I'm working on getting the finish smooth again, and I was like, I have got to figure out how to get these swirlies off. I learned that if your sander is not suctioning up, I'm using a shop vac, but I'm learning that if it's not suctioning it up as it should, it's leaving the sawdust on your wood surface, and it's going to create these little swirlies while your orbital sander is moving in a circular motion. In order to get rid of the swirls, you're going to need to sand again, unfortunately. In my circumstance, I ended up using 220 grit as my last sandpaper before I put on the stain. And now that I am trying to remove the stain as well as get rid of the swirls, I'm actually going to go down 2 steps to 120. If you're looking at 220 to 150 to 120. So normally you can go down just 1 step from the previous sandpaper you used, but I'm going to go down 2 so I can also remove the previous stain that was in my piece of wood. It's important to go the direction of the wood grain, as well as just letting the sander do its thing and not pushing down too hard. But just like that, I was able to remove the swirls, and here's a close-up view.